as soon as we were at the festival, it was like, hey, people knew, people knew who we were.
We're finding autographs.
Yeah, really.
Oh, that's so cool.
And so the kids got saved through hearing the music. And I'm just like, what? And I was tearing up and I was crying there because I'm like, how God can just use, us little people, to like, to do his work.
I saw my sister, leading up into the fire, and I'm like, I'm playing, of course, she's my sister, right? I'm like, good.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome in. My name is Chris and I host the UCB1 Rock Show. Today I'm going to be bringing you the full interview that I conducted with Jenny the vocalist and Anthony the drummer from San Antonio's own Saving Jackie. Now, I've loved these guys since before I started doing the rock show, so I was so stoked when I found out that they was prepared to sit down with me and talk to me about their life, their music, and how the faith feeds into all of that. Now, I knew that they'd reformed out of the ashes of a band that broke up in the very early 2000s, so the first thing that I asked them was, tell me about Jackie on Acid. So, do you want to just take me through just a little bit about, I guess the first thing I wanted to ask about was like Jackie on Acid, right? 1998. That was like my era. I was like new metal, Rage Against the Machine. That was my jam. I wasn't in the faith at that time and I came to it later on. So it was kind of like, whoa, you guys have followed my story or I've followed your story, one or the other. Tell me about Jackie on Acid. I haven't really seen much about that.
Actually, it was kind of a fluke the way we started. I was in a band for a couple years that had just broken up. Me and the bass player were in between bands. So I went to go see my sister perform. She was with another group. Her and another it was in an all-female group. It was her, my sister, and two other singers. I just fell in love with the way my sister and one of the other vocalists were collaborating, rapping. I don't know. I was just blown away. This whole time I knew my sister was getting into music and rapping and stuff. I just had never seen her. I think I've seen her once live, and then I saw her again, and I'm like, wow. And then I had this epiphany, right? I'm like, well, maybe I should ask if she wants to try something new, right, with a band.
Right.
And we did, and we got together, I guess, a couple of weeks later to a month later, we got together, me, a bassist, my sister, and another vocalist. That first jam, it took off. Yeah. It took off. We didn't have a name yet till after we brought in the lead guitar player who came in later. And he had the name Jackie on Acid. So we formed the band with him.
Nice one. And it was, I think the themes of that band, from what I found, I mean, I've heard I think I found one track that's still alive called like White Rabbit. Is it? What was that what it was called? Yeah. That was so tight. That was such a good track. I couldn't hear the lyrics because it was like a live recorded
You don't
version.
want to listen to the lyrics, Chris.
Okay. It's funny. Like when I look at like the lyrics that I write for my band, like I had to take a big change in the direction that I was talking about. So did you find, and obviously there's going to be a point between Jackie and Acid and Saving Jackie when like you came to the faith and that's when things changed. Is that right? Or what?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So definitely. How did that happen? What is that? How did that go?
As for me, it once our band played our last show, I had just started going through life and wanting to change, right? Because I already had a child already. And so I wanted to change and not drink anymore and not smoke. And so my mom's like, hey, there's this church meeting. And I was like, I don't know, but like I always felt like I was close to God. And so, I was praying on it. I winded up going and I just got like hooked on Jesus, like this natural high that I've never felt before in my life. And throughout that entire time of going to church and just like having God change me, I didn't want to drink anymore. And that was gone immediately. Smoking was a little hard because I smoked for so long.
Right.
And so that stopped. And then I was single for 2 years and I was praying for a good husband, and God blessed me with a really good man.
Okay.
And so, like, I mean, like everything's falling into place, but I never thought that I would have gone back to rapping until my spouse was like, hey, I make beats, so I'm gonna make you something, and I want you to talk about your life and your past and how God has changed you, da 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 da. And so he made me all these beats, and he kept like forcing me to write to it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if that's what God wants me to do. So eventually what winds up happening is that I met my deadline with my spouse, but it wasn't something big for everybody.
Yeah.
Like it was something for God to show me, hey, look, I got you, and you are a soloist and you can rap. And, so God was revealing all sorts of stuff. And then it kept like, it was on my mind and on my spirit. Like, I got to get with my brother and get this band going again.
Right.
And I kept bothering him about it for so long. But then like his schedule with school and with work and all of that, like it was always hard. And eventually it finally happened. And I was just, wow, to get to this band,
Wow.
Saving Jack.
So
Yeah.
your husband, is he into like hip hop then? Is he? Is that where the beats came from, or is he into metal? Is there any kind of
Yeah, like he's into it all, Morrissey and stuff like that.
really Morrissey?
Yeah.
Not much difference there between Saving Jackie and
Well, it's very different. It's like, like every time that we have like a member in our band, it always takes like a little shift, right? Like a little tiny shift, but I could like usually write to what they give. So
this interview was conducted for the UCB1 Rock Show, the only show on national radio in the UK currently playing Christian rock and heavy metal. If you'd like to find out how you can listen in even if you're not inside the UK, details of how you can do that is in the first pinned comment and the description. Anyway, next up, I wanted Jenny and Anthony to tell me all about their writing process.
Usually it starts off with a guitar riff.
Okay.
Our guitar player throws out a riff, and then we just kind of follow and just write to that riff, and then we start arranging it and add more riffs to it, and then we just arrange the song that way. And then we add, my sister comes and adds lyrics and I guess you could say a melody for the rap, and the melody for the vocal she sings for the songs, and then we got a song.
Cool. I mean, one of the things that I noticed from listening to I've been listening to your stuff in like I've been listening to it for ages, but I've really kind of been like focusing on it over the last week, just trying to just kind of soak it in and just kind of get a flavor for what you guys are about. And one thing I've really noticed is the groove, right? The groove right the way through, the drums and the bass are just like really locked in, like all the way through, and it's just got a bounce to it. I mean, is that like just natural, or do you just like focus on the groove? How do you go with that?
So I think what really helped with the groove was the bass player that's with us now was with Jackie on Acid as well. So when the band broke up in 03, we're talking about getting the band back together right about 2018. But when we go into 2019, we start putting ads out, and our bass player answered the ad. What? Does he know it's us? So I told my sister, well, he doesn't know. I don't know if he knows where we're going with this or what we're gonna do. I gotta call him. So we talked to the phone. We talked for over an hour, like 2-3 hour phone conversation. We caught up. We hadn't really, we were friends on Facebook, but we hadn't really talked about playing, getting back together in music again. It was just I would see his posts, he'd see mine, I'd like his, he liked mine, that kind of thing. And then when I told him, hey, let's get together and talk, and we'll go over, we'll discuss all the band stuff. So we did. Him and my sister got together at a local restaurant here in town, here in San Antonio, and we talked for a couple hours. We ate, we caught up. A lot of that, when he said yes, I knew it was going to be a game changer. And our writing and for where we're going to do, not much what we were before, but I knew we were going to bring in a lot of what we had before into what we're doing now. And him as a bassist and me as a drummer, we were just
tight
pocket.
Yeah,
we're pocket playing, groove orientated.
Yeah.
I've never played with a bassist like John, our bass player, and well, of course, he's Jackie on Acid now, Saving Jackie, and we just brought that same chemistry we had with Jackie on Acid, and to Saving Jackie now with a purpose, right? Yeah. With a godly purpose.
Yes. Oh, that's great. And one of the breakdowns, I think there's like this breakdown bit, and it's critical. That I was just kind of listening to. I think that was the song. I think that was the one that I was thinking of. And it is just so, I want to say restrained. You guys are obviously quite, you could tell that you guys have got a lot of musicianship, but it's just kind of like enough just to have the drums and the bass just kind of like, just doing this kind of funky thing. So that when everything drops back in, it's just really bouncy and heavy. And I'm all about that. I think that's really cool. I love it. So yeah. So what now obviously you guys you've come back together. You're out and you're doing shows again. I understand that you've played some pretty big shows in the past. You've played with like Papa Roach, is that true? You've played with Mighty Mighty Boss Tones and
Yes.
Wow. And last year, like in Saving Jackie, you guys went to Mexico. Is that right? You played at a festival over there. Is that true?
Yeah, we played in 23 and then 24.
Yeah,
we were actually invited twice.
Oh, wow. That must have been really, really cool. So what's your experiences now with playing live as opposed to like the first time? Is there, notice any kind of differences?
When we played in Mexico, it's like when we here in San Antonio, when we were in Jackie on Acid, I guess you could say the local celebs, right? As far as
big fish, little pond.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were very known here in San Antonio for the music we played. But now that we're in Saving Jackie, we have fans. We're a little more known. I guess you could say the dynamics are different as far as our fan base is out, and not just in San Antonio, but not just in the United States, but in other countries. So when we played in Mexico, as soon as we were at the festival, it was like, hey, people knew who we were.
We're finding autographs.
Really? Oh, that's so cool. I mean, because like back in the Jackie on Acid days, like the internet wasn't a thing, was it? But like nowadays, it's just
No,
like,
it was still.
was
Yeah,
it?
but now it's like, I think it's different now because I'm sober, and I'm like really talking to the people and the fans. Like there is this lady that had said that she had started to hear our music and that her kids weren't saved yet.
Right.
And so she got saved first, and then she was like, what I'm going to do is show the music to my children. And so the kids got saved through hearing the music. And I'm just like, what? And I was tearing up and I was crying there because I'm like, how God can just use, us little people, to like, to do his work, right?
Absolutely. So, when Anthony's saying that, like, we're here with purpose, we're going with actually.
Yeah.
So, like, before it would sounds like it'd be like, hey, I'm having a good time, I'm drinking, and like all these kids are just, all these kids come to the shows and they're going crazy. But like, I guess that's not fulfilling in a certain way. It's not like satisfying deep down, is it? No.
Right.
But then you have this experience, and you come to the faith, and like now we're in this metal band with purpose, with like Christian messages on there, and now God can actually do something with that, can use that to kind of do great things, and it sounds like he's used you in that situation, man. That's like so cool. Hey, before we get back and let Jenny and Anthony tell us all about how they're using their music as a ministry to impact the lives of their fans, if you're having a good time today, can you do me a favor and just hit that like button and leave a comment? And if you want to help more people experience the power of God's word through alternative Christian music, can you just share this video with a friend, or maybe just drop it in your favorite social media group? Back to Saving Jackie.
We have friends in Bolivia, friends in Argentina. Oh man, it's just, saving just this ministry alone has been such a blessing. We've actually prayed for people by phone, messenger. People reach out to us through messenger, and you know how you can do a phone conversation through messenger.
Sure, yeah.
We've prayed that way for people, or even just a text. It's been a blessing. I never knew that this journey would take us that far. So yeah.
Fantastic. I love that. So I know that you've just dropped a new music video, which is like Breaking Doors. I have actually seen that. It is really cool. Can you maybe tell me about the song Breaking Doors? What is it about? Maybe give me Jenny, maybe you can give me a breakdown of what the lyrics of that song, what they are, but really what they mean to you personally.
What my lyrics are? My mind goes blank.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I have a lot of songs everywhere.
Yeah. Just an overview of the song. I don't need like all of them.
So I do say never ever, never ever gonna stop, right? And so it's basically me, on how like you're in prayer, when you're like seeking God for something, you're going through like a really hard time, and you're like wanting to hear from the Lord, and God's like, you're not gonna stop, right? Like you're sick, but this isn't gonna stop you from writing. This isn't gonna stop you from doing your shows, and you're gonna keep giving me glory. So I'm breaking the doors down with the Lord, and I'm gonna continue going as much and as far as he wants me to go with this band.
Right.
So yeah, that's how I came up with that one.
I do love it when I hear people who are like doing this thing seriously, just kind of go, hey, I'm going through a trial right now, and this is real difficult stuff, but you know what? I'm not going to be bitter towards the Lord, and I'm not going to, I'm still going to give him glory because he deserves it. And I think that's what I'm hearing.
Yes.
So, what is the future for Saving Jackie? What are you guys? What is your plans for maybe like the rest of the year and then hopefully into next year?
And well, right now we're going to record another EP in late August. So we're going to go in with the drums, lay the drum tracks down, and then shortly after that, we're going to make plans to record the guitars, the bass, and then come back in with vocals. Once we're done with the final mix, send it off to go get mastered and then release it. We don't got an actual release date yet. I see more how close we are with so we're hoping before the year's over, or maybe right in the beginning of the new year, releasing the EP.
Okay.
So hopefully, hopefully bigger shows and hopefully more festivals. So we got caught up with the whole festival thing, so we wanted to do more festival.
Come on, well, you got my vote. You've got my vote for going play that. There you go.
Solo Fest is huge, though. They have like this huge stage with these fireballs, or what do you call them?
It's the pyrotechnics fire that they usually have at a concert.
Which concert's this one at?
At Exolofest.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. That must be so cool.
It was.
Just be on stage. Although I remember seeing James Hetfield getting set on fire by one of those things once back in the day. So
that's what my brother thought that was going to happen to me.
I remember Michael Jackson. I don't know if you remember that.
No, did he?
Michael Jackson was doing I think he was filming a Pepsi commercial.
Yeah.
And during the Pepsi commercial, because he was sponsored by Pepsi back then.
Right.
I guess during that pyro, whatever
spark,
the pyro stuff that was involved in making the video, the fire caught his hair on fire.
Oh,
but the blessing was he didn't. I mean, he wasn't hurt real bad. I mean, he was already back and ready to go. Probably a month or a couple weeks later after that. I think he went on tour or something after that. But when we were doing we played the first night, we played Friday night in Exolofest, and then we were asked to play a second time on Saturday. On Saturdays when they had the pyro tech with all the fire and all that stuff, and I saw my sister, leaning up into the fire, and I'm like, I'm playing. Of course, she's my sister, right? I'm like, how are you doing?
Get over here.
We were playing, and I'm yelling at her.
Throw a stick at her. Doink.
Get over here.
But I was telling him, like, there's tape, right? Like, there's tape that like says don't cross over here. Yeah. Don't move this side or the side. So it's like safety, and it tells you to not pass the tape. But there's this fan that really like wanted, to shake hands. Right? Like they brought their hand out, and I was like, I looked around, I saw the tape, and then I saw where the fire went out, and I said, okay, well, I'm cool right here. So I just did it,
and it went up the fire. No, I'm just playing.
And then it did go up, but I didn't get burned. So I stepped, and I was like, all right.
There we go. It's like another in the fire moment, just kind of in the crucible. Brilliant. Loving it. Okay, well, we're pretty much out of time. So, guys, Jenny and Anthony from Saving Jackie, thank you so much for coming and chatting to us today. It's been wonderful. Thank you,
bro.
If you want to find out more about Saving Jackie and how to connect with them, all of their socials are going to be in this video's description. If you've had a good time with me here today, please consider hitting that subscribe button and coming back next time when we're going to be talking to English singer, songwriter and worship leader Ian Yates, who's going to be discussing the trouble with trying to provide for your family and be a Christian musician. Until next time, look after yourself. See you later. Goodbye.